Hey guys, welcome to Jack's Beautiful You. Today's video is going to be my April perfume tray. So we're going to pick out 10 new fragrances to put on my tray and focus on for the month of April. I'm super excited that it's April because April is my favorite month out of the entire year. It is my birthday month and my husband does spoil me rotten every single year, so I'm super excited. You know, of course, I asked for perfumes for my birthday. So you know I'm going to be doing a perfume haul, a birthday perfume haul, probably at the end of April, and I'm super excited. If you're new here, hi, my name is Jackie. Thank you so much for clicking on my thumbnail today. I really appreciate you being here. To my returning subscribers, thank you guys so much for all your continued support. I really appreciate you. Without further ado, let's get into this video. Alright, so let's start off with some of the perfumes I wore the least, and they're kind of on the fence. Well, only one. Only one is on the chopping block. So first up we have by Frank Boclet, this is Ylang Ylang. I did struggle to wear this one because I really wasn't in the mood for this. This is a very heavy fragrance. It has a very thick and dense caramel note in here. I know it's called Ylang Ylang, but the caramel is very strong in here, and this is more of a fall winter fragrance. It's strong, it's very pleasant. I like it. Yeah, like when I smell it, I like the way that it smells, but I think it's just because it's the season that I'm in. I'm so in the mood for clean and fresh and feminine and springtime, fruity, floral type of scents right now. I'm not in the mood at all for this type of scent. The caramel is just so thick and heavy and gourmandish. And there's definitely Ylang Ylang in here. I do feel like it is kind of an odd combination. That strong yellow floral Ylang Ylang, kind of like a tropical smelling floral, but with a thick, dense dose of caramel. I'm gonna be in the mood for this for fall. I'm not ready to declutter this yet. I think the performance is really good on here, and I think once fall hits and I'm in the mood for those syrupy, caramel, denser type of fragrances, I'll probably enjoy this a lot more, but I really struggled to wear it in the month of March. So not going to declutter it. It's kind of on the chopping block. I'll put it away. I'll take it back out when the weather gets cool and see if I change my mind. But that is by Frank Boclet, Ylang Ylang. Another one that was easier to wear, but still I feel like I should wear this one in the fall. I just struggled to wear it now, but it's not on the chopping block because I love this fragrance. But this is by the House of Moresque, and this is Seta. This is a beautiful fragrance, and I absolutely adore the bottles. The bottles are just like a work of art to me, and it's so pretty. I do love this perfume. The bottle pretty much encompasses what this smells like. To me, this is an extremely resinous fragrance. There's vanilla in here as well. I get a lot of vanilla, but I get a lot of this like balsamic, resinous myrrh. There's myrrh in here. I definitely get myrrh, but there's also brighter notes. I think there's lemon in here and maybe some bergamot. I think there's some Ylang Ylang that kind of brightens the fragrance up just a little bit, but it still kind of feels like fall to me whenever I wear this. It's a sexy perfume. I wore it on date nights, so I feel like spring date nights, you can pull this off, and I liked it. I definitely think this is a gorgeous fragrance. It's very smooth. It feels like a resinous and yet silky type of fragrance with a little bit of like a citrusy opening. It's kind of an interesting and unique fragrance for sure. It's hard to explain, but to me I get a lot of the myrrh, so you have to be a fan of myrrh in order to enjoy this, but I really do feel like this would be better suited for the fall. I am going to put this one away, but it's not going to get decluttered because I think it's absolutely beautiful. I get really good performance out of it, and it's just not one I'm totally in the mood for at the moment. So that is by the House of Moresque Seta. Alright, the other one I kind of struggled with just a little bit. This one's not on the chopping block. If it doesn't change for me, it might end up being on the chopping block. This is by Kilian, and this is Apple Brandy on the Rocks. I actually recommend this perfume. I think it's really a beautiful fragrance, and I really do like it, but every once in a while when I wear this, I feel like it leans almost a bit too masculine for me. Sometimes this comes across as more of a men's fragrance than for women sometimes. And then sometimes I wear it and I don't feel like that at all. It's kind of weird. This is definitely a fresh apple. Some people say this is like Angel Share, but like a springtime and summertime light, fresh version of Angel Share, which I get because you get apple in both of them. But to me, this isn't like a sticky, sweet, gourmand type of apple. This is a fresh, juicy, I just bit into a fresh apple kind of apple. It definitely has some boozy notes in here, but the boozy notes are not so thick and overpowering that you can't wear it in the springtime. I feel like this is a beautiful spring fragrance. It's very uplifting, it's very fresh, it's very refreshing, but then it's got that booziness in here as well. I'm not ready to declutter it because I want to wear it some more. I think, like I said, this is a great springtime fragrance and I'm going to wear it a little bit more before I make my final decision, but this one just does lean masculine every so often. Does anybody else have that happen to them where you wear a perfume one day and it smells a certain way and you kind of get a certain vibe from it, but then you wear it the next day and it's giving you a different vibe? Let me know in the comment section if that happens to you too. Anyway, not ready to declutter it, but I will say I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold off on any declutters until the end of the year. And then at the end of the year, I think I'm going to go through my collection and I'm going to have a brutal declutter because I keep getting fragrances in my collection and my collection keeps expanding and expanding and expanding and I feel myself kind of getting a little overwhelmed, you know, and I'm not the type of person that just wants to collect and collect and collect. I really want to curate a collection of just absolute loves. Every single time I reach for a fragrance, I know I'm going to absolutely love it. I could just blindly reach into my closet and it's a love, you know, that's what I want. But I don't feel like my collection is quite there yet. So at the end of the year, I think I'm going to do one big, massive declutter. So stay tuned for that. This one, I love it and I do recommend it. I think it is worth checking out and getting your nose on, but I'm not sure if I will end up decluttering this one or not. It may at some point be leaving if I continue to feel masculine vibes from the fragrance. So that is by Kilian Apple Brandy on the rocks. All right, all the rest of the fragrances I had for the month of March, I absolutely loved and enjoyed. So this one is by Chanel. This is Gabrielle Essence, and I really do think this is a beautiful springtime fragrance. This is very feminine. It is not overpowering. It doesn't have patchouli in it. So it doesn't have that typical classic Chanel patchouli vibe. So if you hate Chanel fragrances, if you hate the patchouli in Chanel fragrances, you might want to give this one a try because this one, it has a classic elegance to it. It definitely smells classy Chanel without it being patchouli Chanel, if that makes sense. This is a springtime, easy to wear, easy reach, very feminine, white floral, yellow floral with some fruity notes, and it's just classy. It's just very feminine and easy to wear. So this is a great signature scent. This is a great everyday scent in the springtime, and I really enjoyed wearing this in the month of March. And then we have Head Over Heels by Julianna's Perfumes. This one I wore a freaking ton. This one was worn a lot in 2022, and in the month of March I reached for this one a lot. Like I have put, look at this, you guys, look at this dent in here. I have put a serious dent in this perfume because I seem to gravitate towards this fragrance, which just makes me laugh because I almost decluttered this. I was this close to getting rid of this fragrance when I first got it because I didn't think I liked it at all. I'm not sure what it was about this. I don't know if it was the orris in here that threw me off, but it became this addicting almondy, powdery, orris-y type of fragrance that I just love. This is a dupe for Kilian's Rolling in Love, by the way. And I think when I'm done with this bottle, which it looks like I probably will be going through this bottle, because like I said, I reach for this one a ton, I might get the real thing. I didn't realize how much I love this scent profile until I got the dupe. So yeah, I think once I'm finished with this bottle, I will be purchasing Kilian's Rolling in Love. Let me know in the comment section if you have experience with Rolling in Love and what the performance is for you. But this is such a beautiful fragrance. Head Over Heels by Julianna's Perfumes is one I wear a ton, and I did wear it a lot in the month of March. All right, up next we have by Carolina Herrera. This is Very Good Girl Glam. I did put a little dent in this perfume. I love this perfume. I really do enjoy this fragrance, and this smells a lot like Very Good Girl, but with an added cherry and almond twist. So cherry was like the big deal in 2022, and I really enjoy the cherry and almond in here. I like it a lot. I still prefer Very Good Girl more than this one, but this one's fun. This one's more fun. It's flirty, it's youthful, it's fun. The cherry in here dries down on my skin to, it ends up becoming a very sweet cherry. It's almost like a candied cherry, which is not everybody's experience. Some people were saying they were getting cough syrup vibes. Some people were saying the cherry was too sour. That's not what happens on my skin with this fragrance. I get this beautiful candied sweet cherry in the dry down, not when I first spray it. There's still some tartness to this fragrance. Like I said, it has a lot of, I believe there's lychee in here, just like in Very Good Girl. It has some tart, lychee kind of vibes that some people don't really like, but I love it. So this is beautiful, sweet, feminine, rose, cherry, almond, lychee, vanilla fragrance that I think is really fun. And I get decent performance out of this one as well. It's moderate all around. So really like this one, and really enjoyed it this month. I did reach for this one quite a bit. So that is by Carolina Herrera, Very Good Girl Glam. All right, now we have by Parfum de Marly. This is Oriana. This is a fragrance that I wear a lot. I don't know, you can't really see where the dent is, but there's a significant dent in here. It makes me a little nervous. This is definitely a worn fragrance for me. I actually don't have problems with the performance of this. I know a lot of people do. I've heard people say that the performance is really bad for them, but for me, it's pretty good. It lasts for most of my day. It's not really a fragrance that projects super loud, but it has enough of a scent bubble that I can smell it throughout my day, and I enjoy it quite a bit, especially when I spray it on my clothes and in my hair. This is Orange Blossom. It's got some raspberry. I think it's got some black currant, so it's got some fruitiness. It's got some florals, and then it has marshmallow and whipped cream, and it's just such a fluffy, marshmallowy, orange blossom, fruity, yummy goodness with a hint of a little bit of something that smells like a dryer sheet in here. I don't know what that is. I'm not sure what's causing that, but I love it. I love how fun this fragrance is. I love that like clean note that just kind of goes through the entire wear of this fragrance. Some people don't like that. I know other people have said they smell dryer sheet from this and that ruins it for them, but for me, I think it's really fun. I love this perfume. I think it's so good. So I enjoyed wearing this one a lot. This is by Parfums de Marly Oriana. All right, up next we have by Tiffany & Co. This is Tiffany Intense. This is such an underrated fragrance in my opinion. I think it's absolutely beautiful. And I am so glad that I finally put a little bit of a dent in here. Finally wore this one quite a few times in the month of March. This is a great scent to wear to work. I like to wear this one to work because it is very long lasting and it has good performance, but it's soft enough that it's not in anyone's face. It's not going to be offensive. This is a great everyday signature scent worthy type of fragrance. To me, it smells absolutely beautiful. It is upscale. I love the bottle because it looks like a giant diamond and it smells like what I would think a diamond would smell like, you know? It just smells so feminine and so classy and luxurious. It is a lot of iris. If you're an iris fan, you should definitely check this one out. It's got some carrot seed, it's got some musk, some vanilla. It's not overly sweet, but there's enough sweetness in here. I just love this one. I think it's so underrated. People don't talk about this enough. It deserves a lot more love, and I think it's a beauty. So that is by Tiffany & Co. Tiffany Intense. Then we have by the House of BDK, this is Velvet Tonka. I fell head over heels in love with this. I got a decant of this, went through my decant, and just absolutely had to have a bottle because this is quickly becoming just an absolute love for me. I cannot get enough of this fragrance. This is something that performs really well on me. I just get this beautiful scent bubble around me all day and it lasts my entire day. This is a safe fragrance. It's not offensive. It's not going to be in anyone's face, but it will take you through your day and just give you these beautiful wafts of this gorgeous marzipan, almondy. There's some tobacco in here. There's a little bit of rose oil in here, but for some reason I get a little bit of like a cherry blossom vibe from the almonds, maybe, I don't know, but I just get this almond, sweet, vanilla, marzipan, and cherry blossom and tobacco kind of feel with this fragrance. It's super feminine. It is super nostalgic, calming, soothing. For me, I feel so soothed when I wear this. I feel so pretty when I wear this. I feel like I smell amazing. If you love almond kind of marzipan fragrances, you need to check this one out. Great performance with this one. I just really love it all around. I think it's pretty much a 10 out of 10 fragrance for me. I love the bottles of BDK and I like the color of the juice. I just like everything about this fragrance. It is quickly becoming one of my very favorite fragrances, and yeah, love this one. This is a lifer for me, I think. So this is by the House of BDK Velvet Tonka. Last but not least, I have been talking about this fragrance non-stop since I got it. This is by the House of Thameen, and this is Peregrina. This is a beautiful, beautiful rose fragrance that has some white florals, some caramel. This is so enjoyable for me to wear. This is another just full-on love for me. I love the bottle. I think the color of this blue bottle is very beautiful. I love how this smells. This has really great performance. This is so feminine, so rose, like modern rose, sweet rose, like a sun-kissed rose. It's not a full-on jammy rose, but it is sweet. It's got white florals in here too, but there is caramel in here as well. And there's some powdery notes, but I don't find it to be overly powdery. I just find it to be just right. This is a fragrance that I didn't really think was that great when I first tried it. I thought it was nice, but nothing super special. But then when I wore it, something happened on my skin and the way it smelled in the air, and I could not stop smelling myself, and I just have fallen head over heels in love with this fragrance. So this is by the House of Thameen Peregrina. All right, you guys, so that was my March recap. Let's go ahead and pick out 10 new fragrances to focus on for the month of April. All right, so I'm super excited for the ones that I picked out. These are definitely some springtime fragrances here, and I have one that I know I'm gonna wear for Easter for sure. It screams Easter to me, but okay, let's get into it. So the first one, I've been wearing this one anyway, just so you know. I love this perfume. The hype is real on this fragrance. This is by Narciso Rodriguez. This is Musc Noir Rose for Her. I had a heck of a time getting my hands on this sucker because it kept selling out, but I finally found it. I think it's back in stock at Macy's, and if I can find the link for it, I'll leave it in the description box. But this is so beautiful. The only complaint I have is that the performance is not amazing. It doesn't last super long. I spray this on my clothes. I spray it in my hair, on my skin. I never just spray perfumes on my skin. I always spray it everywhere. Like I go to town. Well, okay, I'm not the biggest oversprayer. I'm a medium sprayer. I don't spray lightly, but I don't do like some people. Like some people are like 20 sprays. I don't go that crazy, but I usually give a good decent amount of sprays depending on the fragrance, and I get hair, clothes, skin, everywhere. And this still only lasts 4 hours on me, but I find it to be incredibly gorgeous. It is very feminine, musky, plum and rose fragrance. It is nice and warm, and it's got this, I think it's the plum in here, honestly, more than the rose. The plum just does it for me. The plum is perfect in here. It's sweet, but it's not overly ripe. It's so juicy sweet, and I really love the rose. I love the musk. I think it's so beautiful, and it's so easy to wear. This is like your everyday easy reach perfume, and I can see myself burning through this bottle because I do have to reapply it after the 4 hour mark, or I just move on to another fragrance. That's my only complaint, but it's beautiful, and 4 hours is my cutoff. So if you can make it for 4 hours, then I'll keep you, especially if I really love the way that you smell. This one makes the cut. But just barely. So that is by Narciso Rodriguez, Musc Noir Rose for Her. Another fragrance I have been enjoying so much since I got it. I get wears, like I sneak in wears of this fragrance every so often. I just cannot get enough of this. This is by Clean Reserve, and this is Radiant Nectar. Beautiful fragrance. I can't wait to dig into this. I know a lot of people said that this smelled a lot like God Is a Woman by Ariana Grande. So I went to my local Ulta, and you guys, it does smell pretty similar. I hadn't smelled God Is a Woman I think I smelled it when it first came out, and I don't know why, but I didn't really care for it at the time. But then I went again recently and smelled it, and it does smell similar to this. However, I've heard people say God is a Woman doesn't last very long. I don't know if that's true or not because I don't own that fragrance. I have no idea, but this one is actually pretty decent on me anyway. I get a good 6-7 hours out of this fragrance. It will pretty much take me through my entire day, and it's not a strong, loud fragrance, but it is one that I can smell. I have a nice little scent bubble. I get wafts of it, and I find it to be incredibly enjoyable. It's very delicious. I think there's tangerine or some sort of fruit in here. I can't remember what. It's a fruity floral musk. There's a fruity note at the top of here. I can never remember what it is. Maybe it's like tangerine or nectar. Oh, it's nectarine, I think. I think there's nectarine. That makes sense. There's nectarine, I believe, in the opening of this. It's very fruity, sweet. I think there's a new one that just came out called Sparkling Sugar, which everyone says smells just like this one, but with more of like a peachy note. I'm not sure. I haven't smelled it. I'm kind of interested in checking it out, but I don't want to purchase it if it's just going to be close to this one. I love this one. There's a juicy nectarine note. There's some beautiful florals, and then the musk. The musk in the base is just absolutely addicting. Cannot wait to wear it in the month of April. I'm so excited to finally really dig into this perfume. So that is by Clean Reserve Radiant Nectar. All right, it is time for me to bring back out my Flowerbomb by Viktor and Rolf because I'm craving this scent right now. I have been craving this one. This is beautiful. Wanting to wear this. Just there's something about this time of year and Flowerbomb that just goes together for me. This is such a beautiful, like, date night, sexy, girly, fun, springtime date night scent. It's Flowerbomb. I think we all know what it smells like by now, but if you don't, it's a very sweet, almost like sugary sweet floral fragrance with patchouli in the base. You have to be a fan of patchouli, but I just think the patchouli in here is absolutely gorgeous. To me, it's not a earthy patchouli, it's just a patchouli that smells very warm and makes the perfume feel like it has a lot of depth and sexiness to it. This is kind of patchouli that I like, but again, if you don't like strong patchouli fragrances, this is definitely a floral, fruity patchouli mix, and I love it. So I get really decent performance out of Flowerbomb. I know some people think this is like a beast. I don't feel like this is a beast on me, although I've heard some people say it's not good performing either. Performance is so subjective. There are so many things that go into performance. I can only tell you my experience. My experience with Flowerbomb is it's a good performing fragrance with a moderate scent bubble that I enjoy and think it's super flirty, girly, sexy, feminine, sweet, and I love wearing it in the springtime, especially for date nights. So that is by Viktor and Rolf, Flowerbomb. Up next, I'm putting Dejavu White Flower 57 on my tray. I freaking love this perfume. I think this is such a gorgeous, beautiful, fruity floral. If you like white florals, but you don't want a white floral that's super indolic and heavy and in your face, this is such an easy white floral. This would be like a white floral for beginners because it's not indolic at all. There is a very sweet, fruity, I think it's nectarine at the top as well. I must really love nectarine. There's definitely a lot of vanilla in here too. I pick up kind of a vanilla 28 vibe in here mixed in with the white florals and the nectarine. It's so good. It's fruity, white florals, and vanilla. It's gorgeous and I love it. And I get decent performance out of this one too. It's not a beast, but I get about 6-7 hours, I think, with a moderate scent bubble. I really don't struggle with the performance. This is my second bottle of this perfume. I went through a 10 ml travel size first, and then I had to purchase this. And once I go through this, I'll probably, if I go through this, I'll end up getting the biggest size bottle. That's kind of how I do. It's kind of how I do my fragrances. I start with the small and work my way up depending on how much I'm reaching for it. This is a well-loved and well-reached for fragrance, especially right now. This screams spring to me. So that is by Kayali, Dejavu White Flower 57. All right, the ultimate springtime fragrance of all time. I'm pretty sure this gets the #1 spot. This is by Parfum de Marly. This is Meliora. This is brand new to my collection. I cannot wait I've already been wearing it, just FYI, but officially to put it on my tray because this is, look at this bottle for starters. This bottle is beautiful. I love this bottle. I love the Parfums de Marly bottles. The men's line too, but the women's is just so pretty. Back to the fragrance. This is a springtime berry kind of green type of fragrance. It has these delicious berries and there's a hint of a greenness, but not overly green or sharp or harsh. I don't find there to be anything sharp or harsh about this. It's just a very whimsical, princess, pretty girl, easy to wear springtime fragrance. Now the performance is okay. I get okay, acceptable performance out of this. I do wish it lasted just a little bit longer, but it's not a super loud fragrance. I don't think it was meant to be a super loud fragrance. So if you're looking for a beast mode fragrance, this is not it, but I do smell it throughout my day. And I think it lasts about 5 hours-ish on my clothes and my skin. So to me, that's okay. And there's just a small, it stays pretty close to the skin, but I can get wafts of it. So I love it. I think it's beautiful. I don't know. It just kind of reminds me of like fairies, you know, picking berries. Oh, that rhymed. In some sort of whimsical kind of fairy tale. I don't know. It's just so beautiful. It's not really a serious fragrance. It's not an overly complex fragrance. It's very simple and it's very beginner friendly. If you're just getting into niche fragrances, this would be a great one because it's not overly complex and it kind of has a little bit of a designer feel to it, but it's still really, really good quality in my opinion. And I think the bottle is beautiful and I just love it. So that is by Parfums de Marly Meliora. All right, the fragrance I am going to wear for Easter is by Reminiscence and this is Heliotrope. This screams Easter to me. This smells like Jordan almonds, marzipan. There's some fig in here, which I really love, that added fig touch. There's like a fresh fig note. It's kind of sweet, it's kind of fresh. But then I get a lot of like this marzipan feel. It's so good. And then it reminds me also of those candies, those almonds that are covered with a like sugar coating. They're called Jordan almonds and I associate them with Easter. This just screams fairy tale, Easter, springtime. The color of the bottle screams springtime to me for sure. So I'm super excited to wear this in the month of April. That is by Reminiscence Heliotrope. All right, let's add a very, very polarizing fragrance to my tray for the month of April. This is a fragrance that I think I get the most comments one way or another. People either love this fragrance or they absolutely hate it, and sometimes the comments are hilarious. But this is by the House of BDK, and this is Pas Ce Soir. And this is a love for me. I love this perfume, and I get really confused as to when to wear this. I don't know, you guys. I can't figure out the right season for this fragrance because there's a very strong black pepper note in the opening, but then right away you get hit with this giant blast of juicy fruitiness. And I just love the contrast of that black pepper and that fruitiness together right when you smell it. It smells so good. It's so interesting. I really didn't think I would like that combo, but for some reason I do. Plus I get really, really good performance out of this. This lasts me all day with a very beautiful scent bubble around me. I've gotten compliments on this and I just love it. I had an entire decant of this first that I went through, and I mean, I burned through that sucker like nobody's business. It was not a love at first sniff for me though. I was not sure how to feel about this. When I first sprayed this, I definitely didn't dislike it, but I didn't know what I was smelling. I couldn't figure it out. I was like, do I like this? And then I just kept going back to it. It kept growing on me and growing and growing, and then it turned into a full-on, full-blown love. And I knew once I finished that decant, I had to have a bottle. So super excited to wear this one. That is by the House of BDK, Pas Ce Soir. Another one that reminds me a lot of Easter and springtime, and I don't know, there's something about sweet almondy type of fragrances that just, I don't know why, that just reminds me. Marzipan, almonds reminds me of Easter. But anyway, this is by the House of Xerjoff, and this is Shunkoin. This is from the Join the Club collection, so this is one of the fragrances that the notes are vaulted. Nobody really knows what's in here, but I smell coconut for sure in this fragrance, and I freaking love coconut. This isn't like suntan lotion coconut though. To me, this is a gourmand, sweet, edible coconut. It kind of smells like I'm eating coconut cookies, or maybe coconut cookies are baking. I'm outside and I am also drinking a cup of tea. There's like a tea note or some kind of, I'm pretty sure there's tea in here. There's vanilla in here. I smell like a powderiness in here as well. It's so good, and it just reminds me so much of Easter. There's like an almond note in here too, like a powdery almond feel. This one lasts me all day. I get a decent scent bubble around me, and I think it's absolutely gorgeous. All right, up next we have a fragrance that I'm not 100% sure if this is a mistake. Sometimes I like to play around with fragrances and see if it's the right season, because I haven't quite figured out what season I want to wear the fragrance in. This is pretty new to my collection. This was Love at first sniff. I got a decant of it first. This is by Nishane, and this is Ani. Another very polarizing scent. When I first told you guys about this, I got a lot of comments from people saying they either loved or hated this fragrance, which is understandable because this is described as a green vanilla, and not everybody loves green notes, but this also is very spicy. This has ginger in the opening. Yeah, this has a lot of spiciness to it. Now, to me, the spice is not over the top. I actually really love the spiciness in here, but for some people, some of the comments were this was way too spicy for them. The green in here is not what I expected. I'm typically not a green fan, but the green in here is very smooth. And then I get a lot of the citruses. So it's a very spicy, citrusy green opening in this fragrance. It's unlike anything else I've ever smelled. And then the vanilla, when it dries down and that vanilla comes through, it is absolutely gorgeous. I think because of the citruses and the green notes in here, I might be able to pull this one off in the springtime. Maybe this will be a good springtime vanilla. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'll wear it and I'll be like, no, this is for fall. This is an extrait de parfum, so this is a very good fragrance as far as the projection and the longevity. I get compliments on this one, and I just fell in love with it. So we'll see how much I like wearing it in the springtime, but I think this is so gorgeous. So definitely worth getting your nose on, but don't blind buy it because it is very polarizing. And not everybody loves this one, but I am definitely Team Ani for sure. All right, last but certainly not least, I am putting Dama Bianca back on my tray. I had to put this one away for a little bit when I first got it because I was wearing it nonstop and I was like burning through the bottle. This is definitely one that will be 100 ml once I go through this bottle, and I love this perfume. This is one of my favorites. This is like a top 10 for life for me. Oh, I love this one so much. I truly, genuinely love this perfume. This is so good to me. It has kumquat and lime in the opening, and I am so into lime fragrances right now. I am so into it. I'm so here for it. But the kumquat is so unique. I don't know what kumquat tastes like. I don't know what it smells like, but there's something so unique in the opening of this fragrance with the kumquat and lime. It's unlike any other kind of like citrusy vibe I've ever smelled before. And then this dries down to be the most beautiful, delicate, slightly powdery vanilla that you can wear in the heat. That's what I was looking for. I was looking for a vanilla I could wear in the summer. A lot of people were talking about Dama Bianca, and I blind bought this, and this was probably my best blind buy of 2022. The performance is okay. It's not the best. It's not super loud, but it actually lasts a long time. I was surprised at how long this lasts. If I spray this on my clothes and hair, this will last throughout my entire day, but it is a softer projecting fragrance. However, I do get wafts of it and I can smell it and it is fine. I will overspray this sucker. I love it so much. So to me, the performance is definitely acceptable. As soon as I finish this bottle, I will have 100 ml in my collection. So this is by Xerjoff Dama Bianca. All right, you guys, and that is it for today's video. Those are the 10 fragrances I will be focusing on for the month of April, and I want to hear from you guys. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think of any of these fragrances I talked about today. Do you like them? Do you hate them? I love to hear from you guys. You guys are so amazing. I hope everybody is having a fantastic day. If you like this video and you found it helpful, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!